Joint tenants versus tenants in common. What's the difference? Joint tenants is generally equal shares, and if one party passes away, the share goes directly to the other party. Tenants in common is flexible in terms of ownership structure, so you can own different shares, and if the owner passes away, the share will be directed by their will or the estate. When you're buying property, it's important to consider the ownership structure of what you're buying. Most commonly, what we do is register properties in joint tenants. What that means is if I was buying a property with my wife and we registered it in joint tenants, we both own an equal share in the property. If I passed away and died, my share would automatically be transferred to my wife. In New South Wales, we can lodge a notice of death with the death certificate, and then my share would be transferred to my wife and should own the whole property as a sole owner. Tenants in common means that you can choose how much percentage or how much share each owner has. If I was buying a property with my wife in tenants in common, I could own 2/3 of the property and she could own 1/3 in the property. If I passed away and died, my share would only be directed via my will or letters of administration if I don't have a will. It means that there's no automatic transfer of my share in the property to the remaining owner. And this can be important to consider if you have a blended family, if you're buying property with other family members that you don't necessarily want the share to automatically go to. So if you're buying a property with your brother or your sister or your mother or your father, and you've got a family, and you want to make sure that you direct your share in the property to someone via a will or your intentions, it is important to consider the ownership structure. This is important for you to discuss with your solicitor or conveyancer and understand the impacts. If you've liked this content, please like, follow, and subscribe on the channel you're watching on. Thanks.